And these are my AWS certifications that I've done. And on GCP side, I have a GCP Cloud Engineer plus GCP Cloud Architect also. So roughly I have, like I said, 1.5 years experience on GCP also. So I've extensively worked on Terraform plus I would say EKS, which is Kubernetes managed service in AWS. So this is brief about me, and I would love to know about yourself, right? Ayo, Edward, Hitesh, Mandigiri, Siva. If you can just give me information about yourself, how much years experience you have, what you are looking for, that will be good for me to know. You can send the information till the time I'm using this time. I'm going to explain this course of content. What we are going to cover in this entire course is, first of all, fundamental of cloud computing, then AWS Cloud Services Overview. This is what we are going to target is a solution architect, SC, solution architect. So fundamentals of cloud computing, AWS services, because many services we have in AWS that we are going to learn here. Then we'll discuss about free tier account, right? What are the things you need to do carefully in your account? And security, on security, we are going to discuss on IAM, which is very important services, identity and access management. So identity and access management is where we are going to create users, groups, policies, real-time use cases, multi-factor authentication, security token, security features in IAM, right? We'll talk about this one. And then we'll talk about AWS EC2, which is backbone of AWS system, which is like creating the virtual machines in cloud, right? We will be taking understanding different examples of EC2, how to create AMIs, what is AMI, security group, how to create, how much security groups you can create for one EC2, launching and connecting to EC2. There's a couple of examples we are going to take on Windows, right? Operating system, and couple of examples we'll take on Linux also. Plus couple of example I will be taking on Ubuntu also. So it will be a kind of mixed environment we are going to teach people, right? Multiple environment we are going to take. Then we'll discuss every day, right? We are going to discuss, let's say we are going to discuss today EC2, right? So today we are going to discuss EC2 is, we are also going to discuss interview questions on it. Interview questions plus certification questions, right? So this is what we are going to discuss on the same day so that you can brush up your skills and be ready for the industry and certification also side by side. Then we'll move to next topics, which is load balancer, auto scaling group. And today I have what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you load balancer today, right? We'll talk about this load balancer, and we are going to start the final classes from tomorrow. This is just a random topic I'm going to take up today for load balancer, but from tomorrow we'll go day by day plan and we'll complete everything within 40 hours almost. Right. Yes, I can share this. You can talk to you. You have Amit number, right? Amit will share with you. So this is S3 transfer, S3, EFS, and storage gateway. We'll talk different use cases, where to use EPS, where to use EFS, where to use S3 storage, right? Multiple use cases, and everything will be a real practical. 99% things we are going to do is will be a hands-on, right? That will understand VPC, how to create VPC, what is VPC, what is subnet, what is CHCIDR block, subnet routing tables, internet gateway, NAT, access control list, peering connections, endpoints, VPN, and customer gateway. Then AWS relational databases, like we know, in AWS relational databases, we have multiple types of databases available. One is MySQL, one is SQL, another one is DB2, another one is Postgre, right? Another one is MySQL, right? Multiple types of databases available. 6 options as of now we have available in Amazon RDS. 4 relational databases. Previously, we need to work with on-premises system. Nowadays, we don't want to work with you can say on-premises, and we directly want to spin up RDS in few minutes. That's the beauty of this RDS service. We'll talk about more on this. In databases itself, we are going to discuss Amazon DynamoDB, DynamoDB table hands-on, Redshift, Elastic Cache, limitations of all the systems. We are going to discuss content delivery. Content delivery means we are going to discuss on AWS edge locations, or in AWS world we call it CloudFront, right? We'll discuss about caching and validations, and the AWS monitoring. In AWS monitoring, we are going to work with Amazon CloudWatch. We'll see how to create a dashboards, how to create metrics, how to create custom metrics, how to create alarms, how to send data, CloudWatch data to S3, import export, how to configure your EC2 instances for CloudWatch agent. That also will see how to create custom metrics and send to CW, which is CloudWatch. That also will see, and other pricing parameters plus architecture decisions, how you're going to make your architectures better. Then platform services, we are going to talk about AWS Cloud Formation introduction, Bean stack, how to create your stack using CloudFormation template. Also, we are going to discuss a couple of things on Terraform, which is not in this document, but we'll talk about this on Terraform also, because I do have the excessive experience on that Terraform. Plus this migration service, we'll see the one end-to-end use case of database migration service, which is going to take 3 hours of time dedicated, plus server migration service, which is almost going to take 4 to 5 hours of time. I will set up everything in front of you in migration, and I'll do the one end-to-end use case for AWS server migration service. Snowball is actually not possible to show practically. Then migration hub also will see. These are not possible to share in the practical because these are the physical devices Amazon will send, right? And that require a lot of investment. So AWS cloud security and encryption, which is AWS shared responsibility model, compliance and certificate artifact, AWS config. We'll discuss about AWS inspector, trusted advisor, personal health, WEF and shield, AWS direct connect, identity providers and federation, AWS single sign-on, AWS directory service, and AWS Meshi, right? Then we'll discuss about Route 53 service, which is DNS service, domain name mapping service, and then a couple of other things related to as AWS SNS or notification services, Kinesis, and CLI. So this is going to take roughly 40 hours of time, right? With that being said, we can start with one of the topics today, which is load balancer. So what is load balancer? Load balancer. Load balancer, as the name suggests, it is going to distribute the load between multiple components. Distributing the load. So distributing the load means you have some servers, and on top of those servers, you want to set up something called load balancer, which is going to distribute the load. So load balancer meaning distribute the load. That's it. That's the meaning of it. So how you're going to distribute the load? For example, there is a systems. For example, I have servers. I have 2 servers. This is one server. Call it web server 1. Call it web server 2. web server 2, right? Web server 1, web server 2. On these web servers, I'm going to add one load balancer. Load balancer. This load balancer is going to send one request to this server, one request to this server. Right? One request to this server and one request to another server, load balancer. So it is going to be a RR. We call it RR, which is round robin. The round robin algorithm says one request to one server, another request to another server. That's what we call it, round robin. But if I talk about industry, in load balancer industry, we have another options also. Round robin is one of the option that you are sending the request one by one to servers. One request is coming, right? One request is coming. It is going to load balancer, then going to this one, server A, request number 1. Second request is coming from different client, but going to server B. Third request is coming, then going to C. Then fourth is coming, fourth again will go to this one. Fifth will come here. Sixth will come and sixth will go here. If client this is coming, it will go there 7, 8 and 9 like this, 10, 11, 12 like this, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 like this it will go, right? So this is just a distributing of load, that's it. You're sending request one by one to these servers. This is called round robin. Another type of load balancer is weightage round robin. So in weightage round robin, it is going to send a request based on the weightage you are going to define. For example, if you say my one of the server, this one is going to have server A, server B, and server C, right? This server A is capable of capping more requests. So it can take 3 requests in 1 second. And this can take, server B can take 2 requests in 1 second. And this can take 3 requests in 1 second. Or you can say 1 request in 3 seconds. Like this. This is, you can say, low capacity server, low. This is medium capacity, and this is very high capacity. Right? High, medium, and low. So basis on that, we are going to distribute. So 3 requests are going to come. For example, 1, 2, 3 to here, 4, 5 here, and 6 request is going there. Then again, 1, 2, 3, then 3 requests to this one, and then 2 requests to this one, and 1 request to this one. Like this, which is called round robin, which is weightage round robin. Next is least connection. It will check where the least connections on these servers. Then it will send the request. Least connections. Then another type of option is random algorithm. Random means it is going to call randomly servers. If you have 4 servers, it is going to call random servers. Least response, that means based on the least response the server is going to take, will send the request to. Like, so in AWS world, we have 4 type of load balancer available in AWS. One is classic load balancer, which is now traditional but still in use. AWS is going to obsolete this in 2025. Then we have application load balancer, which is going to be a load balancer which works on HTTP and HTTPS level. It's a layer 7. It's a layer 7 load balancer. In OSI layer, we have layer 1 to layer 7, and that works on layer 7. Then we have a network load balancer. Network load balancer operate at connection level, which is layer 4. Routing request to target, easy to instances, microservices, and containers with Amazon VPC. So this is advanced level of load balancer, and this is going to work on layer 4. When I say layer 4, we are talking about TCP and UDP port. right? On this TCP and UDP port is this going to work. Do you know what is the meaning of TCP and UDP? Gaurav Singh, Hitesh, Panchal, Mandagiri, Sandeep, Edward, Ayo. Do you know meaning of it? What is TCP and UDP? You know, right? You can unmute and you can talk about it. Mandagiri, I will unmute you. Okay, fine.
Actually, here my little net was not proper.
Okay.
TCP UDP was read in transfer control protocol and user data protocol.
Okay. Let me show you one thing. See, so we have multiple type of load balancer, like I said. We'll discuss the difference later. But in short, let me tell you, if you're going to create a classic load balancer, if you're going to do a new development, then what is the recommendation? Recommendation says is you should go and create an application load balancer if you're working with HTTP and HTTPS protocol. If you're going to work with, let's say, if you're going to work with traditional one, the traditional one we have classic load balancer, which we should migrate to this application load balancer. I will take you to the same demo. I will show you that how you are going to configure classic load balancer. I will show you, but we are going to work with application load balancer, network load balancer also. As of now, classic load balancer will be decommissioned after 1 year or something, but don't think that you are not going to learn that, because many applications are still working on that CLB. We call it in short CLB, which is classic load balancer, right? Then separately, we are going to discuss on this gateway load balancer also. So let me quickly create one load balancer in front of you. In fact, two machines, let me create in front of you. Let me show you. I'm going to my AWS account, and most of the examples, like I said, we will be taking in a real-time example so that you can understand these and add on your experience on AWS. So we are going to log in console. I'm going to create two EC2 instances, and I'm going to create one load balancer on top of that. And during my examples, I will be using my GitHub. On GitHub, each and every assignment is available. For example, the day we are going to cover Elastic Compute Cloud, you will get all the files. This is already there. EC2 Linux instance, Windows instance, S3, DynamoDB, all the labs are there, right? What we'll do, for example, today I'm working with load balancer. So what I'll do, I use one of the script from here itself to spin up my EC2 instance. So EC2 install user data, copy. I will go to EC2. I'll click on instances. I'm going to click on launch instances. I'm going to give here server 1. Scroll down. I'm going to take Windows. Scroll down. 1 GB memory. Instead of this one, I can take 2 GB memory. Creating key pair W1 dot create key pair HTTP. I want to enable this HTTP. In case you don't know what I'm doing, I'm creating a virtual machine. I have covered this part in the previous session. So I'm expecting that you have gone through that session. If not, you can ask the details to Amit also. He will provide that. So I'm creating one window machine, right? I'm going to create one load balancer on top of that. I'm, I'm going to launch this. Similarly, I'm going to just one thing. I'm not used command on that, right? So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to instance one more, right? I'm going to launch one. This time I'm saying new server one. Scroll down. I'm going to use Windows. I'm going to use 2 GB. Scroll down. I'm going to use new WS1. Create a key pair. Scroll down and click on HTTP and then expand this section advanced details. And here I'm going to use my script. So copy and paste that script, right? So this is a script. What this script is doing, the script is going to install IES on it through user data. So what is user data? User data is going to be installed when your machine is getting initialized for the first time. So we are going to use index.html. We are going to create one file which is ceinet www root index.html. Here I'm going to say hello world page. I'm just saying server one. This is server one. That's it. Launch instance. I'm going to create one more instance. So I will just refresh. Right. This is new server one. I'm going to copy and I'm going to launch the instance. And same like 2 GB. Once again, I'm taking. Let me write here new server 2. Scroll down. I'm going to work with Windows and I'm going to take 2 GB of instance. Scroll down. I'm going to create a new key pair WS203. Creating a new key pair. These are the things which we needed to connect with the EC2 instances, which is spam file. I know I'm going a little fast because we have covered this part previous session. I'm going to focus on load balancer only, not on EC2 creation. Fine, just go to advanced details again. And here also we are going to paste the same command. And what we are going to do here is, so I'm going to write server 2. Fine, I'm going to launch instance. So my two servers will be created. And on top of these servers, a message IES will be installed and server will display the message. Let me delete this server, which is not needed now, right? So server one I can delete, just terminate that. Now I have two servers. One is new server one and new server two. Both are in initializing mode. Let's wait for 1 minute. So what I'll do, once these two servers are ready, I will create my load balancer now. So go to load balancer. Like I said, we have 4 type of load balancer. That depends on our use case, which one we will try and use, right? Which one we will use. So there are 4 type of load balancer. One is application load balancer. So application load balancer is something that is advanced level for HTTP and HTTPS protocol, right? Which is for HTTP and HTTPS protocol. ALB, we call it in short ALB, right? This is ALB. And this is network load balancer, which works on network layer, right? Which is layer 4, right? This is application, this works on 7 and this works on 4, right? Comparatively to application load balancer, this network load balancer is going to be a fastest load balancer. And then we'll have a gateway load balancer, which is we are going to discuss later. But apart from these three, we have another four type of load balancer, which is going to be obsolete soon. but the name of that load balancer is classic load balancer. But I'm still saying this is going to be obsolete in 2025. Still 1.5 years left, right? So you should not be creating new applications on classic load balancer, but whatever applications still are on CLB, you should be knowing that load balancer for that also. So as of now, I'm just going to terminate this and we are going to work with classic load balancer and see my machines are up and running. Before that, let me check. So let me go to my server 1, take the public IP and hit this public IP and check if my default page is coming. Fine, it is showing you server 1 as the output. Now let me go to the server 2 output, copy this, and paste. So here server 2 will be coming. If it is not coming, we need to check our security group. Go to new server 2 and go to security. And on this inbound rule, which is added already, right? It should work in that case. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. It should work. Perfect. It is going to work. Now, if you're going to refresh, it is going to say server 2. This is server 1. This is server 2. So like I said, in my load balancer, what I'm going to do is this one I already set up, right? Web server 1 and web server 2. Now I'm going to set up a load balancer and which is going to work on the round robin algo. One request to this one request to this one. So I'll go and set up a load balancer. So go to EC2 and click on load balancers and create a classic load balancer. In later assignment, we'll create application and ALB and GLB also. So I'm going to create classic load balancer. Click on create. First of all, it is going to ask you name of that load balancer. In industry, we call it CLB. Instead of classic load balancer, we call it CLB. Just now, I'm just writing a time name CLB-dem. Scroll down. It is giving you two options. You want to create this load balancer in an internet facing zone, which is public, or you want to call in an internal, which is internal to your network. In AWS world, we call it VPC to our internal network. That we'll discuss later. How to create a load balancer in internal network. As of now, I'm using internet facing. Scroll down. It will ask which VPC you want to create. Default VPC. Mappings. Select at least one availability zone and one subnet for each zone. So what I am going to do is I have created my EC2 instance, right? If I go to my EC2 instances, I need to see in which availability zones they are created. If you don't know about the availability zones, that also I've explained in the previous session. So you can come to these servers. These two servers are part of AP South 1A. So I will make sure 1A is selected here. Only then traffic will move to 1A instances. So apart from this, I'm selecting AP South 1B because if 1A is not working, then traffic will, AWS is going to set up load balancer in 1B. Fine. That's why I'm selecting 2 because I want high availability. Then security group. In security group, I'm attaching default security group. In my default security group, all traffic is allowed. But actually all is not required here. So what I'll do, I'll go to security groups and show you what is available in my security group. So go to security group, and default is the name of it. This one. So if I go to this one and inbound rule, edit inbound rule. Okay, not all is allowed. 3389 is 8899 is allowed. Instead of that, what I'm doing is add a rule and HTTP 80 is allowed. Why 80? Because our load balancer is going to work on port 80. Save the rules. That's it. Now come to this one. Default is fine. Listeners and routing. That's why we open the port 80 because we are going to have a request on port 80. Listener protocol port 80. And here also same request request should go to port 80. Health check, which is the backbone of it. Very important part, health check. On which protocol you are going to check health check of your instance. I'm saying please check the health on port 80 and go with index.html slash index.html. What is the meaning of it? Slash index.html. See, I have used this script, right? So till www root, it will automatically go. And the moment you type this one with server slash index.html, and if you hit this, same output is going to come. The reason is server one is having index.html, and index.html, whether you are adding or you are not adding, it is a default added index.html. That's the reason we are going to check here on index.html that health of my EC2 instances are fine or not. Then response timeout. Response timeout. If we are not getting response in 2 seconds, or probably we are not getting response in 5 seconds, I should treat that machine as unavailable. But that too, I need to check on interval of 5, or you can say 10, and that too at least 3 times we need to check. Unhealthy threshold. The meaning of this is unhealthy threshold. We need to count at least 3 times. And for healthy threshold, we need to at least see 10 times. Right? So that's it. Once your machine is not responding in 5 minutes, 5 seconds, it will check 3 times on the interval of 10 seconds. If it is not working, AWS will stop giving requests to those EC2 instances. Then healthy threshold. Healthy threshold means machine was not working, machine went on hold, AWS is not sending request. After 1 hour, machine is back. Now it is working fine. So AWS is going to check 10 times for it. Healthy threshold. 10 times it is going to check. That are you okay? Are you okay? If 10 times AWS is getting the same response that machine is okay, then AWS will start giving the request to those instances also, which was stopped earlier. Now instances. Which instances you want to add in this load balancer? I'm going to add, and I'm going to add new server, the 2 servers, this one and this one. New server 1 and 2. Continue. Then it says enable cross zone load balancing. Do you want to do enable cross zone load balancing? If answer is yes, you choose this option. Another is enable connection training. Connection training is the option which is like if you have 15 instances attached with load balancer. Now AWS load balancer is realizing that one machine we need to roll out, or we need to remove from the load balancer, which is not working fine. So how much time do you want to give to that particular machine to drain the connections, existing connections, right? There might be 100 active connections on that machine. We cannot abruptly machine, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to do 300 seconds of time, 5 minutes of time, so that whatever are being running on the machine, it will be closed out first, then only we can shut down the machine or whatever you want to do, right? So that is 300 seconds. Fine, that's it. This is just a summary section. You can check the summary. It's a basic one configuration. Name of that is this one, network mapping, default VPC we are going to use, and two subnets we are going to use. These are default security group we are going to use, and listeners and port, which is HTTP80, and health check is on these parameters, and two instances added, and cross-down load balancing is enabled, connection training is enabled, and click on create load balancer. Simple. Once you click on creating a load balancer, after few seconds only, your load balancer is going to be ready. So click on view load balancer, and once you click on load balancer, you can take this URL. Let me refresh. You can go to this URL, copy the DNS name, and you can hit on console. Let me paste here and press enter. If it is not going to work, let's wait for a few seconds. It should automatically be worked. Let's wait for it. Because just now we have created, so our health check and target instances must be checking. Auth fail, AWS was not able to validate access credential. Just let me refresh. So now let me check. If I select this CLB demo and go to target instances, perfect. This is in service. This is also in service. Now let's check if is it working or not. Let me refresh. If it is not working, then we must be checking the reason. This reason can be security group. So go to security group and check security group is fine or not. Let me just refresh that. Target instances. This is fine. Security. Why it is not just, let me refresh. Might be I just need to log out and start browser again. Let me log in again. This is load balancer. Click on it. Target instances, both are live. Go to security. Still not showing you. Let me just refresh. Now go to CLB, this one, and this is my domain. Let me click on it. It should give you server 1 or server 2. Fine, this is giving server 1. The moment I refresh again, for example, server 2. Again, I am refreshing server 1. Again, I am hitting server 2. Again, I am hitting server 1. Again, I am hitting server 2. Let me share this URL with in a chat. You will sometime get 1, sometime you will get 2. Right? So this is the functionality of load balancer. Like this, we are going to cover 4 load balancer. This is one load balancer that we have covered, which is elastic load balancer. Fine. This is the curriculum. Everyone, you can just talk to Amit if you have any questions. Right? His name is Amit. He's account manager. You can talk to him. And if you have any details, you can regarding the fees amount. We are going to start from tomorrow. And this is his number 406 806. This one plus 95406 62806. Fine. Any questions for me? You can raise your hand. I will unmute you and answer your queries. Any questions? Mandigri, do you have any questions? I have unmuted you.
So far, not have any issues. Actually, the basics of Linux and networking part of the stuff which I have consisting in this AWS contents. So I know all kind of issues, I mean, subjects. Thing is, mainly in the AWS, a major part of core related tasks need to learn. So as of now, clearly I understood this session. Everything is done clear. It's good.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, not having any questions. Everything is clear.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Athira, Ayo, Hitesh, Sandeep, any questions? Fine, guys. Whosoever is interested, just get to connect with Amit and he will be sharing more information. That's it for today. And we'll connect again tomorrow. Whosoever wants to enroll, because from the tomorrow onwards, we are going to have the only paid sessions. All right. Thank you, everyone. Take care and bye.